I have friends
And
everywhere.
we are live. We are live for our international names. Hello, hello. Yay! Simone is now showing a very common object in every bingo game in most Italian houses, and now we'll describe it to you. And also, he's donning a perfect hat for his role as a calendark. So a very important figure in the religion of Brancalonia, because today we are here to talk about Saints of the Kingdom, which is the third and final book for our new Kickstarter campaign of Brancalonia that I will now share in the chat so you can get to it if you still haven't if you still haven't signed up. I'm Camilla, I'm here for Acheron, and today with me we have Simone and Mauro, which are the two authors of the book, and Alex Valente, which is the translator of the Brancalonia books. If you maybe want to say a few words to start presenting maybe what we talk about today, I will do my usual sharing on our social media channels, about this live. So just give me a minute, and I
Okay,
let you
so
talk really.
today we talk about religion, and this is the third
In real life.
Yes.
in real life. Yes, it's going to be very boring. Sorry. And the third book from this new installment of Brancalonia is all about religion because it comes from a couple of thoughts we made. The first is that religion was a topic, a subject that was um, not very. It was touched in various places around the manuals, but not in a very organic way. So we thought that it was useful to have it all in one place, ordered and really thought about. So we are going to have a focus about religion, but the creed, the various figures, the double, the eternal Father, the four mothers, the five archangels, and the bingo, the calendar, the saints. There's a lot of people in this at this party, and we want to make a little
Order.
order, a holy order. Then and also because we feel that the saints are something that we in Italy we are very expert of, because we live in a place where there's a lot of saints. Almost every street name is from a saint. I Everywhere you go, it's always San Paul Street, San. Everywhere there's saints everywhere, churches. So we felt that we had something to share with the international community about these crazy people from the past, and also because there's a lot of there's a lot of crazy stories. I Maybe I open with one of them because I was in Venice recently, and in Venice there is Saint Mark. It's the name Saint Marcus, Saint Mark, which is the saint of Venice. I think you all know Venice. That's a
With the
very famous,
lion and the
very
book
famous
and stuff.
city with boats instead of cars, and they couldn't worship San Mark as they wanted, because they up to a certain point in time they didn't have the body, the salma, the
The body.
The
the
corpse.
body,
The
the
body.
corpse. It feels disrespectful to say corpse, but they didn't have the corpse. So at one time, two merchants that were like spy merchants said, "We are taking care of this. We are going to Alessandria in Egypt, Alessandria, where they had the corpse of San Mark, and we are bringing it back." How did they do it? They went to Alessandria Egitto. They stole the body, and it's already a Brancalonia adventure. And then they put it in a barrel filled with pork meat, so that the people in Egypt couldn't touch the pork meat because religion forbade them, and so they escaped with the body. This is real stuff. You have only to change the name of the saint. It's something ready for
Brancalonia.
I guess we have like thousands of stories like that in Italy about every saint we worship.
Yeah.
So it felt like an opportunity to put some of them in
your game.
In your game, exactly, at your
course.
table.
Of course, because why not?
Have you shared all the shareable, Camilla?
Almost, but I do really enjoy hearing you all talk about saints stories. So I might pretend to have some more sharing to do so that you keep telling them. No, but I think it's time to start describing what our players will find in this book. With these stories,
Maybe we have to
will
present
be
Mauro,
about
because
them.
Mauro is the first time that he joins us.
Yeah,
I mean,
in this
it's not the
installment.
first time. Yeah,
my first live English live with you guys.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very nice to be here again with you. I'm working with the Brancalonia from the beginning, and with Acheron games and books from the beginning, and I'm handling in this for this release different things, so a lot of things actually. The new subclasses or archetypes in other handbooks. And for this one, I'm working with Simone with the campaign and new monsters and new stuff that you can find in this all the World Saints book thing.
Yeah, and you are basically the main author of the campaign that will be in this book, which is the All the Saints campaign. I will share the cover with you in just a few seconds so that we can look at it while we talk. And
much in Brancalonia tradition, everyone is going to be calling the book 5 different titles, because we went through 5 different titles before we came to the final one. And the final one is, I believe, Saints of the Kingdom now.
The final one is Saints of the Kingdom. Sorry for the
no, but like, it's something that readers will see in the book, is that we are trying to, like, not as Simone was saying, we're trying to put some order to how like religion has been working so far in Brancalonia, which is also a way for us to go back and look at the 3 different variations we've used for the same character to finally bring them all in one. 3 and 1. It's very much a religious experience in what we're doing right now.
Because we are Brancalonia. We don't do Brancalonia. We are that one, that mood. We are in that mindset, and so everything we do, it's the same way.
Exactly. But now I have the cover with the right title, so Saints of the Kingdom, with a beautiful friar, preparing to deal some just and fair judgment.
Bless to someone.
It's a very incisive theological argument he's about to make here.
Exactly. Which thank you, Alex, because this is the perfect hook to talk about the fact that in this book you will find a lot of stories about saints, you will find the whole campaign, but you will also find some fun new rules and dive games, like the Sacred Dispute.
Whoa.
So, Mauro, Simone, how would you describe this new fun game dynamic?
That actually is a sort of mix. Probably someone knows that there is a mixed sport called chess boxing, chess plus box, like punches.
Yeah.
And it's together. The two guys compete in a fight, in a regular fight, plus a chess game together in the same moment. Okay, in the same event, let's say so. So I decided, together with Simone, to have the same thing in a sacred way, in a holy way, in a religious way. And probably in Europe we had a lot of disputes, arguments, theological conversation, theological meetings, councils about everything in the holy books, in the holy stuff, arguing about sacred matters, sacred subjects.
Sure.
So we have the same in the Brancalonia universe, but more than that, more than just talking each other, the people just slaps each other, and it's called it's a pun in Italian way that I can't absolutely recreate in English. So like a sort of sacred moral slap. I don't know. So you can argue with another NPC or character in fiction, fighting with him, punching him in fiction, him or her in fiction, and who win this arguing, this dispute, can statue something canonical in the Brancalonia universe. So if you can say,
No,
I don't know,
the
chickens,
thumb of Saint Rosalia is in Abracalabria.
yes, or chicken are servants of evil. If you won this dispute, they are actually evil in the wall, in your game, in your session, in your campaign of Brancalonia. So it's something like that.
Alex proposals, I think it's the best. Moral combat seems like the perfect translation for this kind of dispute. Yeah. And
so that the end you can have the how is called the fatality, with
yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's absolutely really fun, and it's one of the many new dynamics that will be present as new games. They won't be called dive games. They will be, let's say, themed thematically, but how they work is basically like dive games in the setting book. And there will be also new rules for brawling, again, thematically adapted to the Saints of the Kingdom manual. Attila comes in strong with fatality.
yes.
This is very good.
This is the mood.
This is
Yes.
very good. Yeah.
Anche io ne ho una, mentre stavo lavorando, moral high jab.
Moral high jab. Nice.
Usiamolo
combat, yeah.
Però anche però fatality sicuramente bisogna, io se fossi in Alex me la scriverei, perché comunque
I've done this. I have the page open, don't worry.
Yeah.
Fatality,
and,
yes.
We have received also some compliments for Alex for moral combat. Yeah, it's definitely a very good idea. And also, as I was saying, new brawl rules, because people in the Brancalonia universe don't just become friars for their faith, but also because of their prowess. So if they have to sustain their name for a new role in the creed, in the Eternal Father's body of preachers, they have to physically sustain their claim, let's say. So there will be brawling for getting a new, let's say, for ascending the ranks of the Eternal Father. And Mauro and Simone, I also know that you finally made a description of the archangels in the Brancalonia universe.
Someone is still missing, let's say so.
These are going to also to be very difficult to translate for the poor Alex. One of them is we know that one of them is a marionette puppet.
Okay. No, a marionette.
marionette, and is the oldest one, San Giorello. Then we know one is San. I don't know the translation. Sorry, it's not the moment.
Don't worry. It's
but we know that 4 of them are known,
okay.
and the 5th is in the shadows. Ooh.
Okay.
I'm saying one. I can say
the straight. It's a bit like the stranger in the 7 kingdoms pantheon. You know, there is the mother, the maiden, the crone. I don't know, the warrior, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the 7th one is the stranger that shares the name with the strangers, with the White Walkers. So we are all left wondering if he's a bad guy, a good guy, if the strangers are part of blah 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 blah. We'll never know because we'll never read the final books, and we have an archangel that we will never know.
Never mentioned, because mentioning him can cause bad luck. So nobody wants to nominate, giving him a name or her a name.
Absolutely.
And, it's just
exactly. It's like an arcane jinx.
Thanks.
And another thing that will be described, let's call it the first half, even if obviously we still don't know how many pages it will come out like, but let's say that in the first half of this book, which is the part before the campaign, we will have the description of all these powerful beings in the pantheon of Brancalonia. We will have the description of many saints and their stories, but we'll also have descriptions about one of the main things, let's say in Italian, devotions, which is what we based most of these upon, so on relics. Relics are very important to us, and relics will be very important in Brancalonia. They already are very important, but I would love for you to maybe just delve a little bit deeper on this and explain to our viewers or to anyone who will watch this on YouTube after we went live, why they are so important and how they will translate in the Brancalonia universe. Who will go? Mauro.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, relics, like saints, like other strange Italian stuffs, are so typical of our culture. So we also in Brancalonia already did ideas or congregation about relics. There are reliquaries, friars that are searching relics all around the world, like treasures. Okay, they find they are tomb rider, sacred tomb rider, or something like that. So every time in Italy we still have in our church parts of bodies or corpses of our old saints, or who knows who they are from, where they took these parts of people. And they are these relics are still important in a lot of cities and metropolis and town, like Naples. Every year we will wait for something happening with this relic, and so on. So we will charge them with a lot of power, divine power, in Brancalonia game, game mechanics. And these relics will work with other weapon, other object of the equipment to enhance the normal equipment or the normal weapon. So you can combine them with weapons and so on in a lot of different ways. So you can attach something from Saint Lucy to a sword, so your sword can enlight a dark corridor, or you can put the same relic on another thing, and it works this way, and so on. This could be the mechanics.
And also, I think
I love that.
there will be different tiers of originality, of authenticity
Yeah, of course.
of the relics, because relics are not only the original, the true ones and the fake ones. There's like the
Barely true one.
barely true Saint
A sliding
Peter's
scale
finger
of authenticity.
of authenticity, because it also works like that in real life.
Yeah,
You have
sure.
like 7 feet of Saint Theodore. So
He was just very biblically accurate, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
He just had a lot of limbs, so it's perfectly fine for him to have had 7 feet.
exactly, like it was 49. And
I remember there are something like 23 heads of San John, the baptizers, something like that. Recognized somewhere scattered in Italy. There are 23 heads of the same saints, but
Absolutely.
it's just a
my
miracle.
hometown-
You just believe.
Yeah, it's a miracle, of course. My hometown, we didn't get a part of people. We only got a belt. So we only have the belt of St. Mary that was brought to Italy by St. John. So,
Okay.
well,
that is fine. It's,
it's
two saints touched it.
It's only a belt, but it's from St. Mary. It's not a...
Exactly.
Come on. It's like the second most important. In the south of Italy, St. Mary's sometimes is considered above Jesus in terms of...
she
of
did come
importance.
first.
She did come exactly. So...
the original.
Anyway.
But okay, stop. We can change
but this is mostly to say that like all of these stories that we are like gamifying and putting into thing are very much based on actual traditions and beliefs that happen in Italy. So it's still continuing the tradition of taking what is true, what is silly, and making it sillier and less true, but also more true.
The fun part of our job, our task here, is that we can just choose the most wonderful, most mind-exploding stories and put it together and give it something like Dungeons and Dragons rule compendium, and and everything just works because we have a lot of stories like that. We have a lot of objects, equipments, sacred weapon, sacred place, strange monsters, strange creatures like that. We just have to pick it up and it's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, if in the bestiary you had a lot of Italian folklore, but you had to dig it from ancient history. Saint stuff is like maybe you were talking yesterday with your grandmother. We was talking about with you about something she knows about.
I can do an example from the campaign, the very first episode of the campaign. It's not a spoiler because it's just what happens when you start playing the first session, and it's about it's. In the Brancalonia universe, it's called San Terpente. I don't know, San Terpente. I don't know how could be translated, but you can understand.
Go away.
And San Terpente, yes, like that. And because in Italy we have a saint that is honored and worshipped, like completely covered by snakes. Really snakes, live snakes, and there is this festival every, I don't know, in the spring, every summer, still now, and they cover this statue, this figure with serpents, snakes, and so on, and bring it with all the snakes again in this march to the sanctuary up on the mountain. And then other strange things happen. So we just take this part of our tradition, put in the game, and it's just the perfect starting
Yeah.
for the
Basically, they are ready.
adventure.
We just need to change the names and make them more Brancalonian than Italian. But basically, that's it. It's a very easy feat. That's why Mauro and Simone also felt the need to create a lot of other stuff to put in this book, such as the weapon, the sacred weapons. Am I right? We will find some very juicy new weapons to use in Brancalonia in this manual.
Now I'm a little at loss with the translation, but there's like the throwing candle, which is a holy
Yeah.
candle that you can light and throw, and it explodes, making radiant damage.
Yeah, like actually a whole lot of radiant damage, right?
A whole
And
lot of
then
radiant damage. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Our our rules master Marco B is very fond of candles because he went with a heavy hand on this one.
Yeah,
And then there is
the pastoral reinforced with iron.
yes, the iron pastoral, which is like the staff from a bishop, but it hasn't a cross, of course, but there's this stuff, which is the, how do we call it, Alex?
That
This
one?
is
Oh, I don't remember what the original name is. I'll go check.
okay. So this one, this thing is a holy symbol in the world of Brancalonia.
Oh,
maybe
the cup of the dead. Yeah.
the cup of the dead.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
The bussolotto, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cup
The
of the
cup
dead.
of the dead. Incredible. Okay. So this thing is a very common object in the south of Italy. Sometimes in the north they don't know what it is.
We
And
don't know the right name. We still don't call it with the right name.
we call it the panariello, which means a little basket, and it's used to throw numbers in bingo, in family bingo. We play a lot of bingo during the Christmas holidays at home, not in bingo places. And you just do like this, and you come out with a number in your hand, and you say 77, the devils, and so on.
Yeah,
And
we already have we already have met that object because it's the favorite instrument of the zombingo, which you can find in the gazetteer.
Zombingo.
I don't know if it's still the zombingo was the definitive.
Yeah, it was the final
The
name.
Bing Yonder is the person who does the casting, but the zombingo is the ultrasmorphia.
Ah, okay, perfect.
The better than the original. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this one is the holy symbol. Instead of the church, we have this one. Maybe I thought it was. I thought I will show it to the international community because maybe some of them,
nobody knows
nobody knows what is this. It's a fairly obscure object from for everyone outside the south of Italy.
Yeah, and another thing that I think it's really important and really fun that we talked about even in the first live in Italian is that in the first half of this volume you will also tackle the fact that Brancalonia, just like D&D, is a world where there are actual deities and like very important angelical figures, but in Brancalonia as well you steal relics and you steal holy artifacts and sometimes you steal from what used to be holy ground. So don't think
Allegedly.
allegedly. Because Alex he's a real azzeccagarbugli. He's a real he's a real lawyer in Brancalonian style. But I mean, we thought about this as well, and Mauro and Simone have come up with a series of regulations, let's say, about this. Did you not?
Yeah, there are a lot of little things, little topics we in this handbook, connected, of course, again with this religious theme. One of these is how to we are all knaves, so we still around. And what about okay, we can't steal from actual churches around because God, angels, and the God
And the
exists.
Eternal Father. Well, we
Yes,
won't
do
be
exist.
pleased.
So we see them in the bestiary, so they exist. So why should we really steal from them? But knaves know that in lost catacombs, in abandoned sanctuaries, and so on, things are more mixed. It's not so clear. You are not doing a crime against religion this way. So there are a little rule about this, and how to do when you can do this. You have to confess then something, and you have the absolution, and you can steal this way a part of their lost treasures in this kind of places, holy places. But this is just an example of things we put in this handbook, together with the other things Camilla, you already said. So there are pages of this kind of ideas, they are all optional mostly, so you can use them to bring some kind of variation option in your game when you want. They are not so mandatory, they are not so focused on main things, but you can use it when you need an option, a new variant, the same jobs. There are also at the end of the book a few new monsters, because we used it in the campaign, so you can find it at the end of the book, and not so many other things, I guess. Also the sacred tattoo, or holy tattoos. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sacred marks.
Not to be confused with the marks that are for the race that we put in the Gazetteer, the new race, which was the Alex, please forgive me. Do you remember the name, the English name of it?
I know what you're talking about, and I do not remember what we're talking about. It is just the Marked.
The Marked. Fantastic. Yeah, so not to be confused with the marks of the Marked, because those are not particularly holy marks, let's say, whereas these are holy marks.
Yes, the holy marks, because, or again, we have in Italy this tradition of holy marks from the 2 centuries ago. People, the devoted people, doing some march to a sanctuary, or participating to a great ceremony somewhere lost in Italy, somewhere in some mountain, or in this temple, used to be marked, to ask for a mark, an holy mark, an actual holy mark in real life. Before tattoos were so common in Europe, so already in Italy they did it 2 centuries ago, and they were only used in sacred context, in these holy situations. So we said, okay, we have this crazy stuff from the past. We can use it in Brancalonia, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Waste not, want not.
Exactly. And I I think now that we are halfway through our live, just like we did for the Italian names, I think now is the right time to share a little bit of a spoiler about one of the objects, better yet, one of the arms that our knaves can use while preaching the creed or just going around, and doing their stuff. Which is the cheese flail. And now I will show it to you. I will show it with the Italian name, but I can already confirm that the English name is cheese flail because I asked Alex if that
It's like
was the
5
correct
minutes ago. Yeah.
name. No, a little bit before 5
Oh, right.
minutes
It was
ago. Come on.
25 hours ago. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the cheese flail. Isn't it beautiful?
Incredible.
It's
Very
incredible. I love it. And yeah, it's something you can use to hurt others. But if you want to take nib from time to time, I think it's not impossible to eat it a little bit. But I can assure you that it's better as an arm, as an something to hit people with, because those cheese, those
Are very
catosta
seasoned.
cheese are, yeah. Those are very dense, and they will hurt you very, very much if they get to you. And you will find these, I suppose, in the Grand Theft Market, but I am not completely sure. And
It
because
looks more profane than sacred.
Who
yeah, it
knows?
looks
At a glance.
Who knows? At a
Who
glance,
knows?
you should find this in the Grand Theft Market, but we are still unsure if this should be a rustic arm or if it should be a firearm in the sense that it's a cooking weapon.
We're still workshopping the name for that. We're still like
Yeah,
cookery
exactly.
weapon, pantry
Yeah.
weapon, firearm. We'll see. But
In
yes.
any case, this will probably be both rustic and pantry. So, a rustic pantry weapon, probably.
And
It will
sacred
be-
and magic and
Yeah. I mean, it's cheese. Cheese can be anything. Cheese is life. Cheese
Cheese is holy if it's Swiss.
Oh, like I don't know if I can do a new live with the three of you together.
Yeah, they're very cheesy jokes.
very cheesy.
Yeah, they don't age well.
Oh, my heart, my heart.
And this is why we get paid to write this stuff.
Yeah. That's the
Absolutely.
reason. That's the reason. Now I think it's
Now
the
let's talk
time.
about the campaign before it's too late.
Exactly. Now we have to talk about the campaign before I decede here from your jokes. And the campaign was born under a somewhat unlucky star, in the sense that when we first started thinking about this, it was quite some time ago, quite a good number of months
Almost
ago.
a year ago. It was in Lucca or before Lucca.
Yeah, I think in Lucca. I think during Lucca Comics and Games, which, if you don't know, is one of the biggest pop culture conventions in the world, and it takes place in the first days of November.
And it's one of the circles of hell. Like, they don't tell you that, but it's one of the circles of hell as well.
Yeah, but you have fun in hell, so it's
exactly. Yeah, that's what all the fun people are.
Yeah. And then we have in the comments something very nice that I'd like to highlight, which is it's a blessing when the translation stuff is so in tune with the writing stuff. That's I really
you don't
agree
have
with
to be an idiot to work here, but it really helps.
It does. And in the sense that when we first started talking about this in the last October, late October, starting of November, and when we first developed the idea of this campaign, the starting point was supposed to be the passing of Vaticin City head of state, so the head of the church, Telesphorus the first. But obviously, then all the Vatican stuff happened with the passing of the actual Pope. So we we didn't want it to feel like we were taking advantage of the situation, even though we started thinking about this quite some time before actually all the news happened. So we thought about something else, and as it always happens, the struggle gives creativity a new boost, and so we found a new idea where to start from, which I honestly think is even better, which is that simply Telesphorus got fed up of being the head of a church where nobody was listening to him, and
He quitted, like the other pope.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes they die, sometimes they quit. It's normal stuff.
Exactly. And so he basically decided he wanted to quit and get on a cruise ship and just go away and find new places
Crusade
where
ship,
a
not a cruise
crusade
ship.
ship, a crusade ship where he and go where his heavy hands would be more useful to preach the Eternal Father's name. And so, obviously, just as it always happened in medieval Italy when a pope was no more, the cardinals and the ordinals and whoever had the modicum of power just starts campaigning to become the next patriarch of the creed, and our knaves will find themselves stuck in these power struggles, right?
Caught
Mauro,
in the middle of holy fire.
In our Brancalonia, they seal the wall city,
Yeah.
the Vaticin City. So they are
Mhm.
sealed not in just in the palace, but all the religious people, or the monks, or the friars, or the clerics in the city, the town, and they will decide there what will happen. So the adventurers, the knaves, will find themselves there, and they have to help some ordinal, some prevost to find their its way to his way, or their way to the holy throne, like that. And they are the people that save the day to someone to someone of the ordinals or candidates. I don't know.
Oh,
And so
Attila asks if we are talking about the dog pope from the Empire Wax Back. Actually, Attila, that was never the pope in Brancalonia. He was the faithful advisor of the emperor. So absolutely, he was
He was the head of the
yeah,
Helvetian Church, not the head
exactly.
of the Eternal Creed.
there are four.
Exactly.
There are four patriarchs in Brancalonia.
But you
Very
are
awesome.
really well prepared, so
Yeah.
claps on you.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
okay, no, we decided that figure is as is arc in that campaign, so
Yeah.
it should be dead at the end. We don't know, but it's not. This is another story. So this is another story with another patriarch, with the one in our Rome, in the Brancalonia Rome. This is called the Vaticin City, like that. And
This is
yes, the imperial one.
just for
reference.
for reference.
But the candidates, is called the papabili in I don't know, in
Popable?
Popable.
the popable.
Yeah,
They are quite strange, a bit strange, a bit weird, let's say so. So there are a Malebranche one. There is I don't know the name of the races, the species in that translations, but they are very heterogeneous, uncommon. They are very. It's how is called una chiesa molto, come dire.
It's a crazy bunch. It's a very crazy bunch of
Very heterogeneous.
Una chiesa molto
Yeah.
aperta alle diversità noi abbiamo, quindi c'è
Inclusive.
A very inclusive church.
very inclusive
Yeah.
church with the same minor and lesser and species, and so they could be popeable. So
Yeah.
and sorry, I will take just another few
Absolutely.
seconds.
If you want to maybe describe a little bit of the structure of the campaign and what our players
I
will find.
will, but you the company, the group, the cricca, I don't know, the
band.
crew,
The
the
band.
band. Is not a crew? Okay, no.
No, it's
The
a band.
No, it's the band.
The band
Reasons.
Reasons.
will choose which candidate, which popeable sustain and be helpful to. So you can decide in the campaign which faction to support, and they are different. You can choose which you prefer.
And if the campaign goes very, very well,
Don't say so. Don't even
no.
try. It's
No.
the main spoiler, the final ultimate spoiler.
I'm
So
treating you
No.
to your own bad medicine.
Exactly.
Yes,
no,
you do.
No big spoilers. We use spoilers, but no big spoilers. Also because I know things, and so there could be a new, very, very big spoiler coming. But
this one,
Anyways.
I won't tell anything.
like the true nature of the dog in the other campaign, so we can. But okay, about the campaign, you start as a normal knave, a low-level knave, scam of the world, low life, in this holy fair in this region, secondary region of the reign of the kingdom,
The kingdom, yeah.
the bounty kingdom, because we can say it so in English. And so you are in this holy festival with the snakes and the saint, and something happens. You have to save the day in this way, or steal the money. It's in Brancalonia is the same. Then a powerful ordinal see you that you are a great company, great band. You know your job, and decide to be your boss for the plane he has. So you can start the adventure like that. The campaign. He will bring the band to Vaticin City, and then there is all this stuff.
And then Simone said a thing that I found very fascinating, that Vaticin City is a very large city, but also a very profound city. So, you won't just be on the street level, but you will probably explore a lot of different levels in Vaticin City, if I understood correctly. I think it will be very interesting, this.
Mauro casts cloud of spoilers.
And also
Globular spoiler.
Mauro said as well that there will be some missions that are not in Vaticin City.
Okay,
so
no spoiler.
No. Because we already published the map and in the Atlas of the Kingdom,
the Gazetteer.
Yeah.
The Gazetteer. So you can already see how the city is done, but you now have the possibility to deep dive in it, in all its secrets, mysteries, plots, and so on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for once, now that we have a pre-existing description of the city, it won't be entirely contradictory in the next book.
Absolutely.
For once.
Yay!
Simone.
I don't see the point of all this continuity editing. Who cares?
It's just like actual historical recallings. They never perfectly fit with one another. It's
because there is the extravaganza, is the Fantonia is extravaganza,
Yes.
And we can create everything we like and contradict ourselves because it's the extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yes, pretend to be like 5, 6, 700 years of people working, usually drunk in monasteries, copying books with very low light. But it's not true. We have Google Docs. We are always the same 3 or 4 people.
We do?
Yeah, exactly. But we excuse ourselves as we are generations of monks with a bad sight and very bad lightning.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure.
Of course.
And I feel the hatred from Alex. It seeps through the screen.
It's fine. We have a lot of like people who play Brancalonia and have like bought the books and read the books who are trying to put everything together in a way that makes sense. And I think it's not an excuse, but like the fact that it's been different authors writing different books at different times. The translators have been a number of different people. Something slipped. If you find a typo, well done. Keep it. It's yours now. Great.
You can grow it.
Yeah.
They become part. I mean, it's how a lot of very strange stuff came to be canonical in the Brancalonia universe. So it's a fun game because of this as well. And we are reaching...
the whole project starts this way.
Yeah, exactly. So it's in its bones. We cannot avoid it. We are reaching the end of this stream, so we have to do one of the things that our knaves seem to enjoy more about our most recent live chats, which is discover the new subclasses that we are going to ask them to vote on a poll on our Facebook group and Discord server to decide which art they want to be revealed next. Now, since this live chat was all themed around Saints of the Kingdom, we thought about sharing subclasses that were somewhat linked with this. There's still the Pur Furioso, which was not chosen in the last 2 polls, but is a paladin, so that's perfect. And then we chose that there could be 2 other options. One is the cleric, which in Italian is the vagante, but in English
So originally we had called them the wandering, so like the wandering clerics, so wanderer clerics. We may change the name, but that's a good placeholder for now.
Okay, fantastic. So the wanderer.
Very good place.
Yeah, I think this works very much. And it's inspired by the Italian tradition of wandering friars going from place to place to teach the people and bestow their knowledge. Then we have the warlock, which is...
And it's also and it adds for maybe the international knaves will know it. It's because it's a very famous book, The Name of the Rose.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sure.
By Umberto Eco, where there is this monk, which is also a detective. So this wandering cleric will also play as a lot of detective skills and stuff. It does all the stuff that the cleric does, but it's also proficient in the detecting area.
Yeah, I think the best example for English-speaking knaves would be Chesterton's novels.
Yes,
Father
Brown.
Yeah, exactly. So a Father Brown, basically, but with the.
There is also an Irish mystery series with a monk from an Irish monastery.
Oh, I do remember that. It was translated in
solving
Italian
a lot of cases like that.
Okay. I remember that.
And there was also a very good comedy series.
Don Matteo.
No, it was. I don't remember.
Sister Fidelma?
No, it was.
Sister Fidelma Mysteries by Brendan Moran?
No.
No.
Mine was
Father Ted.
Father Ted.
No, Father Ted is something very different. Father
Comedy,
Ted was
comedy.
a comedy TV series.
It's a comedy. Yes. I was hijacking the conversation.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Anyway, then the other one.
The other one is the
Cadfael,
warlock.
brother Cadfael, something like that.
Brother Catfell.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, Catfell. Okay, yeah.
That's the name. And the other subclass that we want to reveal is the warlock, which in Italian is the Madonnaro, but in English will be.
So it's a sidestep on the play on words, because Madonnaro is both someone who is devoted to a matron, but Madonnaro is also the person who draws like holy imagery on the floor with like chalk, is like a street artist. And a word for street artist is scriver, like scrivano, scriver, someone who writes. But screeder, if you do a screed, is when you get really angry and start talking with no sense, and you just keep getting angry and angry and angrier. So a screeder is a street artist who is also very angry and is madonnando as he's doing it. So I think this could be the right one.
Screeder. I like that.
Genius. Unfortunately, our Madonnaro is a calm type. That doesn't get.
But
that just makes it funnier.
It's still a warlock, so that's
still a warlock. No, it's not
exactly.
Anyway, it feels very good. Screeder.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about the Screeder. It's like a warlock, but instead of patron, I don't know, it has matrons, because it draws its power from the 4 mothers of the creed. The creed in Brancalonia has not only one holy mother, but 4, because we don't. We're
very inclusive in our religion.
We are very inclusive. These figures have various variations, as it always often happens in religion. During the centuries and the Draconian Empire, in the pagan times, they had various variations. In this variation, they descend from the 4 elements, from the 4 earth, wind, fire, and water, the basic elements. So it's also through the 4 mothers, you have an elemental warlock. You can choose which mother to take as a matron, and then you have powers from that element. So it's like 4 warlocks in one. You pay for one warlock, but you have
one. Because they had this polyamore, also polylove in the
polyamorous. Mauro,
polyamorous also in our pantheon, sacred pantheon.
Yeah.
Then our director fell in love with the chalk drawing concept. And because the Madonnaro in Italy is maybe, I don't know, in Europe, I don't know, but it's a guy who goes around and draws the portrait of the Holy Mother on the sidewalk with chalks, with the colored chalks. And then we also have a little power with that pertinent with the chalk drawing of his method.
Yeah, that's really cool. So just to close this off, I will show again the wonderful cover of this book, Saints of the Kingdom, that we just finished talking about. I want to thank again Simone, Mauro, and Alex for being with us and talk with us about this wonderful book that will be available in our next Kickstarter campaign, which is here. You can find the link in the comments. And if you sign up to follow the campaign, you will be notified when the campaign launch. And what I want to tell you is that there will be a Kickstarter exclusive content. So, stuff that you won't find in retail after the campaign. And this time there will be very interesting. They will be physical stuff. It will be huge. And I'm sure you'll enjoy having them. So remember to follow so that you won't miss this opportunity. Again, thank you so much for everyone that followed us live, and then thank you to everyone that's watching these videos after we went live. We see a lot of you are watching the recorded version of these. I do suppose that unfortunately time zones don't work quite well with us. But if you got any question, any curiosity you want an answer to, just remember that if you leave a comment on YouTube or on Facebook, we will answer you. So just write to us. Thank you again to
And
everyone.
Discord.
Yeah, and Discord as well. We have a Discord server. You can find it linked on our various profiles. And we'll see you soon with a lot of other news and contents. So bye for now. Bye-bye.
Ciao.